There are players who define moments. There are players who define seasons. There are even players who define generations. But every once in a while, football produces someone who goes beyond all of that. Someone who doesn't just play the game, but changes how the game is understood. And in modern football, that name is Lionel Messi. Not because he is simply the best, but because he is something far more difficult to explain. Football has always been a sport of patterns, systems, structures, tactics designed to control chaos. Managers spend years trying to reduce the unpredictable, to turn the game into something organized, something manageable, something that can be controlled. But Messi was never meant to be controlled, because what he brings to the pitch is the very thing football tries to eliminate: chaos. But not random chaos, beautiful chaos. The kind that breaks systems, the kind that ignores structure, the kind that leaves even the best defenders completely lost. From the moment he touches the ball, something changes. The rhythm shifts. The game slows down. Not for everyone else, but for him. Because Messi does not experience football the way others do. Where most players react, Messi anticipates. Where most players see pressure, Messi sees opportunity. Where most players see defenders, Messi sees space, even when there is none. That is the first reason why he cannot be copied, because you cannot train anticipation like that. You cannot teach instinct. You cannot replicate a mind that processes the game at a different speed. Watch him closely. Not just the goals, not just the highlights, but the small moments. The first touch, the body angle, the way he receives the ball, already knowing what comes next. Before the defender moves, before the pass is even completed, the decision has already been made. That is not practice. That is not repetition. That is understanding the game. He removes predictability. He turns certainty into doubt. And once a defender begins to doubt, the battle is already lost. Many players can dribble. Many can beat one opponent. Some can beat two. But Messi moves through entire defenses as if they are not even there. Not because they are bad, but because he operates on a different level entirely. He keeps the play alive. That is something you cannot simply copy, because it is not just physical. It is coordination, timing, awareness. It happens until the pass arrives perfectly, until the chance is created out of nothing. That is not training. That is not imagination. And imagination cannot be taught. And yet, even with all of that, we still have not explained why he cannot be replicated. Because football has seen great dribblers, great passers, great goal scorers, great creators. But Messi is dribbles like a winger, controls tempo like a midfielder. All in the same game, all in the same moment. That combination is what makes him unique. Because it is not just one skill. It's everything, working together perfectly. And then comes up once is special. To stay there is something else entirely. Season after season, year after year, different opponents, different competitions, decide games when it matters most. That is not luck. That is not coincidence. That is greatness sustained over time. And yet, there is still more. Because what truly separates Messi is not just what he does with the ball, but how he for him. But Messi never needed any of that, because his football was enough. Then there is pressure, the invisible weight that defines careers, expectations, criticism, doubt, moments where everything is questioned, everything is challenged. Messi faced all of it, from a young age, from the biggest stages, from the highest expectations. And yet, he never changed. He did not try to become something else. He did not abandon his style. He did not lose his identity. Instead, he trusted it. And that is why he succeeded. Because while moments where the entire stadium rises, not in celebration, but in feel real. And that is why he cannot be copied. Because you can train skills, you can improve technique, you can develop physically, but you cannot recreate magic. And that is what Messi brings. Magic, not occasionally, not rarely, but consistently. That is what makes him different. That is what makes him special. That is what makes him unreachable. Football will always search for the next Messi. It will compare, it will analyze, it will hope, but it will not find him. Because players like Messi do not come from systems. They do not come from training programs. They do not come from imitation. They come once, maybe twice in a lifetime. And when they are gone, they leave behind something greater than records, something greater than trophies. They leave behind a feeling. The feeling of watching something you know you may never see again. And that is what makes Lionel Messi impossible to replace. Not just because he is great, but because he is unique. And in football, that is the rarest thing of all. And that is why no matter how many players rise, no matter how many stars emerge, no matter how many records are broken, there will always be one truth. No one can ever be Lionel Messi.